And it's live. We are back again. It is another Friday. You made it through another week. Let's see. We tried something new this week. We'll see if we can make this work. It's all about the tech stuff. And it's live. Well, we are back again. It's not at the same time, so there's a bit of a another time gap there. Made it through another week. All right, I'll stop that for a minute. Try something new this week. Hold on. Let me see if we can make this work. Let me stop it. It's all about the tech stuff. Stop it. There you go. Okay. I'll play with that later. So here we are again. Another Friday. You made it through. You pushed through the week, struggled with whatever was going on, got through work, and here we are. The weekend's here again. So I would say, pour yourself something to drink, get things started, sit back, relax. Let's have a quick chat. Uh, tonight, tonight we're actually going to talk about the 3 months that have passed for the year. First quarter of 2022 is over. You remember back in December where you're like, yeah, 2022, it's going to be my year. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this done. I'm going to get that done. Well, quarter of that year is done. Have you, well, almost done. A couple more days. It'll be over. It's a great time to reward yourself for accomplishing, the stuff that you set out to at the beginning of the year. It's a great marker, right? You can look back on those 3 months and say, well, did I stick to the plan that I created? What did I get accomplished? How much closer am I to what I'm trying to get to, right? You have your own goal, your own target set up. It's all in place. And you just want to keep striving for that, right? You got to look back. I mean, kind of all depends on what your goal was. What is it that you wanted to do? You want to be able to look at the numbers. Remember, we always talk about the plan, the plan, the plan, the plan, right? And in talking about the plan, we also talked about how do we track that. And I talked about various methods of tracking what you're doing so you can see your progress, right? If you weren't doing looking at that, daily, weekly, monthly, whatever the case is, here's a good time to take a look, right? You invested that 3 months in yourself to work on something. Look back at, did I follow the plan? Look at the tracking numbers. Am I on track? Am I going in the right direction? Is there something I need to change for the next three? Right? You want to be able to look at that. And if you haven't started, right? Remember the plans that you created back in December, January. If you have not started what it is that you wanted to do because of the number one excuse, right? It's procrastination. A lot of people have this procrastinating problem. Why do it today when I can do it tomorrow? Absolutely right. There's nothing wrong with doing it tomorrow. But what happens when tomorrow gets here and you just say that again? That's how it just keeps going on and on and on and on. That's Lex over there. Lex is always a part of the party. Um, yeah, that's procrastination. It's a big it's a big setback for yourself, right? And no matter what anybody tells you about procrastination and you got to change this, you got to stop doing that, you should try this, you should try that. It's a decision. It's entirely a decision. You just got to make a decision. Do I want is today going to be the day that I do it or not? If you don't, who is it impacting? Nobody. Only you. I mean, you can think that it's impacting your friends, your family, your partners, whatever the case is. Really and truly, it only impacts you. The people arise. It's just like time. I told you, time doesn't wait. Time keeps going. Tick tock. It just keeps going. Look at that. We've I've been talking to you every Friday for the past 3 months. Imagine that. Look how quickly 3 months have passed. When I look back on the stuff I was talking about in January, what I was saying, how I was saying it, the pen clicking, all of that stuff. what it looked like here, the tech that I have in place, the applications that I'm using, how I managed to set things up and make things work. I've come a long way. I knew that this is one of the things I wanted to evolve a little bit in, right? Look, there's a mic here, there's another mic over there, lights, things, art. Remember? I was talking about these things. I'm just going to progress more and more about it, learn more and more about the tools available, learn more and more strategies, learn better content creating methods, learn how to do some editing. It's it's what's going on in the world right now. It's in my best interest to understand it a bit more and see how I can utilize it to my own advantage, right? I want things to work for me. So why am I sitting here talking to you guys? I enjoy it. It's fun. It's gotten to the point of I look forward to this time. And I've mentioned about my job before. My job's nuts. It's crazy. Super stressful sometimes. I mean, there's times where it's super relaxed, but lately there's a lot of time where it's super stressful. That's okay. It's part of going to work, right? You got you got to follow what somebody's telling you to do to an extent. My end goal is to work myself out, not lose my job, not get fired, terminated, any of that stuff. It's to work myself out of a job, work myself into a position where I'm working for me. That's my end goal. The what, the how, all of that stuff. Those are my plans. Those are the things I'm striving for. And in a piece of that is this, right? This is fun for me. I like people, shooting me ideas for, hey, why don't you talk about this? Or why don't you talk about that? And the calls that'll come in throughout the week with, you mentioned X, Y, Z, a couple things, and sometimes it pertains to them, sometimes it pertains to someone about. Sometimes they just want somebody to talk to, and it's great, right? I enjoy that people to people connection. It's a nice thing. It relaxes my brain from the stuff that goes on all week. And then, we'll just keep going at it. And it's just gonna get better and better. You know, the location's gonna change. The things around me are gonna change. Like, remember, I used to see that as this giant blank wall, and it used to drive me crazy. So now there's a giant picture there, right? Like on the screen, it's like, oh, this is backwards. Whatever. But it's bigger than this, than my hand span. I can't lift that up by myself. Two people had to put that up there. It's wide. But now I see the blank space over there, and I see the blank space over there. So what do I do? Well, I've already designed some things that'll go there and fill up that space. Why? Ah, no reason. I want to fill up the space. Remember the brown dot? That used to drive me crazy. Put some paint on it, but still see it a bit. Don't worry, we'll cover that up too. But when I was talking about gauging the past 3 months, these are all things that happened over the past 3 months, right? I'm proud of what I've done. I can look back behind me and see the accomplishments that I made to get to this point, right? And I'll just keep going. I'll just keep moving forward with it, striving for more and more and more and more, learn more, add more, put up more. There's going to be more things placed all over the place. Why? I like it. And once you find something that you enjoy doing, immerse yourself in it. Jump in, right? You might not know all of the tips and tricks. You might not know how to do everything. That's all right. Get started, right? There's people out there that are watching what you're doing. And I'm not saying you have to come in the online space, just in life in general. There's people out there watching what you're doing, listening to you when you talk, and you never know what insight they'll be able to provide just by having a simple conversation with somebody, right? I Lots of times people tell me, "Oh, well, why don't you try this or set up this or you need to get this or use this software or try this or this could do that." I love it, right? I love getting all the input. Then I do, the testing, the research side and see, well, will that work for me? Is it easy to use? Do I want to include this moving forward? Some of these services are paid. I have to decide, am I willing to pay for them to be able to do this? And those are all choices I have to make, right? Couple different things, right? Can I use it? Is it going to add value to what I'm doing? Can I afford it, right? And it'll just build more and more. I appreciate all of you that, spend the time to look at this both live and on the replay. Shoot me the comments, the constructive criticism. I like it all. Good, bad, whatever the case is, it all works for me. Just keep sending it, and we'll just keep developing more and more and more and more, right? Just imagine the things we're going to talk about at the next quarter. Things could look very different for me. Things could look very different for you. I want them to look different for both of us. That's the whole idea behind this, right? I want to share the type of vision I have, share what my mindset is like. If you like what's going on in my head and that pertains to what you're doing, let's collaborate. Let's work together. Let's get each other and everyone around us to just, keep pushing ahead, pushing forward. Hey, life can suck sometimes. You can look back there and you had all kinds of struggles and hardships and things you went through. I get it. You know, we've been there. Sometimes it's just rough. It's hard to deal with. But you have the choice of how long you're going to sit there and, consume yourself with it. Or you're going to get up and take that step, move forward, see what's going to come out of it, make a change, try something new, right? One of the things we talked about before was if you're constantly doing the same thing and getting the same result, you're always going to get the same result. And it's got nothing to do with the people around you. It's you. It's the choices you're making. You want a different result, make a different choice. That's the start. It's literally that simple, right? And you can't walk around like this all the time looking at where you're walking. I get it. It's smart to look at where you're walking, but you're forgetting everything that's literally 3 inches up there, looking ahead. You get that wider view. You get a bigger picture of everything, and you can see things as you're coming up to it. What I mean by that is if you're always looking down, it's a very reactive approach to things. You're looking down, you're walking, and you're looking at your feet. Left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot. You're going to walk, there's a rock in front of you. Okay? Now I can, now when I get to the rock, I'm going to see the rock. I'm going to get to the rock and I'm going to stop, move, go around it, kick it, jump over it, whatever the case is. I'm not going to do any action until I get to the rock because that's when I see it. Whereas if you're looking ahead, now picture the wider view this way as well as this way, right? You're seeing everything. You're seeing ahead of you. There's that rock. As you're coming closer to the rock, you're not at the rock yet, but you see that there's a rock there. You have a choice now to adjust your course and don't change your flow. Your flow is going to stay the same. You're going to go around it. You're going to get to it, build up momentum to just slightly hop over it, right? It's all that is a simple strategy of how to approach things, right? I talked to you guys about the master plan, your plan, right? Define your plan, create your plan, follow your plan, get help putting your plan together. Once you have your plan together, get those really, really tiny steps and just start taking them one at a time, right? The way to get there is one foot in front of the other and repeat. That's it. It's not complicated. I tell you guys that all the time. Super easy. So keep driving, keep doing it, keep going forward, right? There's always somebody rooting for you. Good job. Good job. You made it through the first quarter, right? I'm hoping that you're on the right track. Celebrate yourself. You did good. Give yourself a pat on the back. Don't wait for somebody else to tell you. Somebody else doesn't understand what goes on in your head. Only you do. You have to reward yourself. Reward yourself. Buy yourself something. Take yourself out to dinner. It's not about anybody else. It's about you. Book a flight, take a trip, go to the spa, go get your nails done, go get your feet done. Anything. Reward yourself for doing things that better you, right? At the end of the day, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to better yourself, one step at a time, one day at a time, right? Just keep doing those things that work in your favor. As time goes on, so let's say you did really good these first 3 months. You're gonna look at the next 3 months are gonna accelerate what you did this 3 months because you've gotten into a really good habit to get to this point. Now you're gonna be practicing that habit. You're gonna start speeding up the process. You're gonna start compounding things. You're gonna start to see things differently. You're gonna be able to make decisions differently, right? And it's just gonna quickly pack up, stack on top of the other. Whatever it is you're trying to do, right? There were so many things that we talked about. We talked about health. We talked about, wealth part like savings, investing, emergency funds, that sort of thing. Debt, taking care of my debt, clearing my debt. Uh, you know, wanting to go on a trip, whatever it is, anything is possible, right? Anything is possible. There's nothing that is impossible. You got to be able to sit down and think about it. You might not have all the answers. You got to get in touch with the people that will have the answers to the questions you're going to ask, right? And map it out. Everything is achievable with a plan. It does not matter what it is. It's always about plan, right? Keep doing it, right? Keep going. I can't stress that enough. Keep going. Keep striving to get to what you're trying to get to, right? You'll get there. Stop every so often. Take a moment. Look back. Reflect. Recognize what you did. Reinforce why you're doing it, right? And you'll just keep going. You'll just keep going. I'm telling you, 2022 is going to pass you in the snap of a finger. Look at your life and all the years that have already passed by. How quickly did time pass? For anybody with children, right? As their children are growing and you talk to them, what's the first thing they say? Oh, I remember when they were so small, when they're just such a baby. It was just like it was yesterday. Look how quick that time flies, right? I have a niece. She's a teenager. Every time I see her, I remember pushing her stroller with her in it and her holding this crazy doll in the night garden. One of those creepy looking characters, but that's what she liked, right? I remember her sitting on my desk in front of me, in front of the monitors, watching the show as a baby because that's what she liked to do, right? I'm the cool uncle. We're always going to do stuff, right? But I can blink and remember that. And that was umpteen years ago. Yeah, that's the word. I did not make that up. I heard somebody say that a long time ago. But time, time's going to be your friend. Don't let it become your enemy. It's your friend. Work with it. And don't think that I have time to do it. Act like today's the day you're going to run out of time. Get the things done you wanted to get done. Tomorrow will look very different when you get all your tasks done, right? I tell you, organize yourself. It's very important. Notebooks, whiteboards, notepads, you know, um, little messages on your fridge, post it notes in the bathroom. Put things around that are going to remind you of stuff all the time. I was on a mastermind call Wednesday night, and we were talking on that call, and me and this Friday night event came up, and we were talking, and And they were asking about it, and I was giving them a little bit of insight on what I did and how far I've came, and all of the different pieces that I bought to put it all together, and how it's just it's something I want to do into the future, right? As I mentioned to you guys before, um, that I want to expand Fridays into additional days, but include people in it and have a panel type thing. But anyhow, back to that call. On the call, we were talking about, you know, people were talking about their vision boards. Pretty much a cork board, a giant area. They uh, print pictures, print quotes, put things together, and they see that there, and they put it somewhere where they're going to pass as a constant reminder. They're always looking at those things like that's my direct. That's going to help motivate me. It's going to help keep me pointed in the right direction. Right. I don't have a vision board. I don't think it's practical for me, and everybody's got their own thing that works for them. For me, I build things. Right. For those of you who don't know, I'm handy with stuff, so I build things and set things up around me to help keep me focused, to help keep me in line. Right. To give me the constant reminders. And then there's different areas where I'm going to go to see these things, right? Like my fridge, for example. Every time I travel, I always make sure and get a magnet of where I was to put on the fridge. What is the goal? Cover the whole fridge with magnets, right? Why? Why not? That works for me. Figure out what your thing is. Just figure one thing. Figure one thing that you want. Let's work on that one thing. There's the dream life that you want, right? Try to close your eyes and picture a day in that life. What does that life look like? What color is the sky? What's in front of you? What does the weather feel like? Where are you living? Right? Like, what does the box you're in look like? What's parked out front? How far away is lunch? You know, picture that life. Once you have a picture of a day in that life in your head, take one thing out of that picture. Let's focus on that. It's not that difficult, not that complicated. Hey, thanks, Mike. Appreciate that. And just focus on that, expand on that, and keep going. Just keep going in that direction. Trust me, these small incremental steps, small steps. You don't need to jump and leap. And no, don't worry about that. Don't let anybody talk you into doing anything you're uncomfortable with doing. You get it. You're going to hear lots of you got to get out of your comfort zone, break your comfort zone, get out of your comfort zone. Everything you ever want is on the other side of your comfort zone. Absolutely true. Those are all things you have to do. But you have to do that on your own terms. And you have to do that at your own time. So it doesn't matter what anybody has to say to you. You are not going to do anything until you're good and ready. If you're thinking otherwise, you're only lying to you. And that's what we talked about before about making the decision. Right? You are one decision away from a very different life. Ask yourself that simple question. Am I ready to make that decision? Because you can always see the life going on around you. Get up, go to work. I get up, I sit in traffic, right? I go to work. I spend X amount of time there. I break and eat. I continue. Fight through traffic. I come back home, tired. I make dinner. I unplug and unwind. I watch TV till I fall asleep. I get up from the couch. I go to bed. I go to sleep. I wake up the next day and I do the same thing all over again. Day after day, week after week, year after year. When is it going to change? Told you guys before, we're not born to work, pay bills, and die. It's not the case. There is an entire life out there waiting for you to start living it. And you're never going to do it until you are good and ready to do so. So have faith in yourself. I got faith in you. You can do it. And the fact that you're sitting here looking at this is an indicator that you want to make a change. Maybe you just don't know how. Maybe you don't know where to start. Talk to the people around you. Talk to me. There's always somebody to talk to. This is going to be your head's going to be full of scattered thoughts. You're going to have all of these scattered thoughts going on in here. Use a piece of paper, pull them out of your head, put them down on the paper. Once it's on the paper in front of you, start organizing that information. It takes time. I did not get to this point overnight. I didn't get this way in a snap of a finger, right? I've spent X number of years doing whatever, whenever, however, just getting it done. I spent X number of years in that rotating pattern. Get up, traffic, work, break, work, traffic, home, TV, sleep, start again. Years, years and years and years. I'm working now. I tell you guys that all the time about my job. But the difference now and then is then I was working for the sake of working, just in the cycle. Now I'm working with the purpose of working myself out of the job, work my way through it, not stay within it, right? And whatever your job is, doesn't really matter what it is. You've been doing the same job for more than 2 years, something's wrong. Doesn't mean you have to change companies, but 2 years, you've got some experience. You should be able to move to a different role. Work your way through the company if you're going to stay in the company, right? Excel yourself. When it comes to a company, you have a responsibility to the company to provide services within a given period of time for compensation, right? The company has a role as well, and the company's role is outside of compensating you for your time, is to develop you as a person as well, right? Develop your skill set at work, develop your interpersonal skills, right? A lot of jobs have you locked behind a desk where you don't talk to anybody. You're just stuck on the phone all day. Get out of the office. Weather's warm now. Go for a walk. People are walking up and down the streets all day long, especially in corporate areas, because they take a break, they come outside, they walk around to unplug, listen to the city, listen to the people, smell the air, look at the grass, rest their eyes, whatever the case is. You can end up meeting a walking buddy in your office. You can make up a walking buddy from another company next door. You've just started building a new relationship. You don't know that person. You guys found something in common. Hey, we both go walking at 12:30 p.m. Conversations can build from there. Don't know where you can collaborate down the future. Don't close yourself off to opportunity. Opportunity is always there. This is the biggest mistake to do, especially if 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years from now, 40 years from now, you're going to look back and be like, oh, I remember Des was talking about this. This guy, this big bald guy, was talk about this every Friday. And look at me now. Look at how much time has passed by and I haven't done nothing. You have an opportunity to change that outcome. It's just one decision away. That's all it is. Gauge what you're doing. Keep tracking what you're doing, right? As I said, here's a milestone. When's our next milestone? July 1st, because then we're halfway through. We'll be finished the second quarter. We should be closer. to something by then. We would have had really good habits developed from half the year if we started in January. Even if we start right now, over the next 3 months, we can develop some really good habits. Take a moment and think about it. Think about that thing you want to do. Write it down on a yellow post it. Yellow, something bright you're going to see. Paste it on the fridge door, right? Yeah, I'll give you a health tip, right? You you want to drop some weight because that's a big thing for a lot of people. You want to drop some weight every Monday. Weigh yourself. Write what it is on a yellow post-it in big bold letters, or a better yet, a big printed on a big 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Paste that on the fridge door. I mean, and that's kind of if you're a snacker, right? Wherever the snacks are, paste that wherever the snacks are stuck. Every time you go to open it to get a snack, you're going to see that number. And you're going to think to yourself, well, do I really want it or not? That's only if you're trying to lose weight. Simple, simple tip, right? But there's all kinds of different things you can do. And I was like, oh yeah, that does make sense. It's not. I constantly tell you guys, it's not complicated. It is not rocket science. Change is good. You gotta change your ways. With that, yeah, that's something sent to me today, and I can read it to you guys because it's a good one. Before we sign off, I know we're at that just past the 30-minute mark. But I think this is a good read, and I don't mind. I'm just going to give you the headings around it, and I hope you get something out of it and you enjoy this. So it was 8 things you must give up to get your life back on track. Number one, if you've got a pen, write it down. Give up overthinking and worrying. It's the truth. Stop overthinking it. Just stop. All you do is you're just stuck in your head. Number two, give up criticizing yourself for everything you aren't. I mentioned that before, right? You want to be able to, acknowledge the things that you have done. Or about the things you haven't done yet. Number three, give up regretting and holding on to your past. It's the past, guys. It's back there. Whatever happened there, it happened there. Where we feel we're carrying it with us here, we're not, we're carrying it here only in your mind. And you're letting it cloud up the space that you need to make your life better right now. Got to figure out how to push that at least to the back part. You want to carry it in your mind? Great. Put it to the back so it's still with you, but you have the front clear to process the things happening in front of you, to be in the present moment right now. Number four, give up getting caught up in the negativity surrounding you. Right? Don't want to be a negative Nelly. Come on now. There's always a brighter side. Always a brighter side. You are, swearing to yourself, there isn't. It's just where you're looking at it from. You need to change your perspective sometimes. Take a step to the side, look at it again. Number five, giving up wanting to be where others are in life. Somebody's somewhere you want to be, there's a goal for you. Strive to get there. You're struggling on how to get there? Have a conversation with that person. Take them out to lunch. Sit down and have a coffee with them. Have a conversation. Ask them what were their struggles. Maybe they'll be able to help you through some of the struggles you're having. Simple conversation. Number six, give up letting the judgment of others control you. It's not their story, it's yours. They're not walking your path. You're walking your path. If you want to walk, run, crawl, skip, do jumping jacks, whatever, do back flip on whatever it is you want to do. That's your choice. You do it. You're doing it for you. Doesn't matter what they think. And that's the thing with people are, oh, how I'm gonna look. I can't go to the gym because I'm fat. I'm fat. I mean, I don't go to the gym yet anyway, but so what? Big people are people too. Number 7. Ah, I like this one. Give up sticking to the person you used to be. That is the biggest fight you're always gonna fight in your entire life. Who you were versus who you are versus who you want to be. That's a crazy brawl to get caught up in. But you have to fight that fight because you want change, because you want better. Number 8, give up believing you aren't strong enough to move forward because you are. If you look back on your life, there was probably some things that were just horrific, just too much to manage, too much to bear. You never thought you'd get through it. And look at you, still here, still kicking, still doing what you need to do, still trying to get to a better place. Keep going, keep pushing, keep pedaling that bike, keep taking that step. Just keep moving forward. Doesn't matter how slow it is or how fast it is, as long as you're moving forward. Whether it's the right direction, maybe you don't know, but don't stand still for too long. Sometimes you got to stand still to admire the things around you. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. How long are you going to stand still for? It's the same thing if you're running too fast. Life's going to pass you by. You're going to miss so many things, right? Immersing yourself in something, sacrificing something else, you could miss out on some things, right? I was talking to somebody this week, and that was a very big thing for them. They immersed themselves in their work when their children were small to be able to provide different opportunities for them as they got older, just to realize as they got older, they missed out on them as the children, as childs, as small children. And it's too late. Can't go back and change it. But it took you missing it to understand its importance. Pay attention to the things around you. They're not always going to be there forever. 40 minutes ago, life looked a little bit different than how it looks right now. 40 minutes ago, Lex was awake. Now she's snoring here. That's all right. That's her job. That's what she does. Her belly is full. She's sleeping. Happy. I'm happy. That's it. Doesn't take much. But yeah, again, you know what? I apologize for going a little bit over. Thanks again for checking this out, whether it's the live or the replay. As usual, please send any comments, feedback, suggestions of what you want to talk about. Um, we're always going to be introducing new tech. New tech's coming. New tech's happening. Some new bills are happening around here, which I told you guys last time. But weather didn't really allow me to get anything done, so I need to do it outdoors. But you'll see. You'll see it evolve more and more and more. It'll evolve with time. It'll get better, and be a part of it. Be a part of it. And if you're interested in joining my panel, which I talked about before, for some upcoming stuff, by all means, reach out, let me know, and we'll get a call set up. We'll get a call set up and sort things out. Looking forward to hearing from you. Have yourselves a great weekend. Stay safe out there. Everything's open. Go out, grab a bite, see some people, enjoy yourself. Have a great week, and I will see you again next week.